Today we hear Jesus continue in his dialogue with Nicodemus. And Jesus utters today what is one of the most famous verses of the whole Bible. In John 3:16, when he says, God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, so that everyone who believes in him might not perish, but might have eternal life. And he goes on to say that God did not send his Son in the world to condemn the world, but the world might believe through him and be saved. And whoever believes in the Son is saved, but who does not believe in the Son has already been condemned, because they have not seen the Son as coming from the Father. So we see how God the Father sends the Son, Jesus, into the world, and Jesus represents the Father. He is one with the Father because he does everything that the Father wants him to do. And he is one in his will and in his desire and his love of the Father. So when we see the Son, we see the Father. And the Son leads us back and sends us back to the Father. But there are those people who don't want the Son, who don't want Jesus the Son. And why is that they wouldn't want Jesus the Son? Well, some people, I believe, have had just a rough life. Maybe they've had many setbacks in their life. They've had some rough knocks. They've had some difficult things they've gone through, some bad stuff that has happened to them. And their vision of reality is pretty grim. When they see the world, it's not a very pretty place. So we can imagine that those people really are not so interested in the author of the world that they see around them. They see the world as being pretty grim, and so they think the one who made this world is a pretty grim person himself. And so, as you can understand, that doesn't give them a lot of motivation to turn their hearts to God. But every day we must pray for people who have suffered in this world, and pray that they may have less pain and more joy, and that there may be some light that penetrates in their lives, and that they may be able to grab a hold of that light and let it lead them back to the Father, and let it be able to overcome the pain and suffering that they have in their lives. But Jesus goes on to talk more particularly about those who have chosen the darkness rather than the light, those who have chosen the works of darkness rather than the light. And how does that happen? But just think about people who do evil things. They don't want to be seen what they're doing is evil. If someone is stealing, they don't do that out in public and in front of everybody. If somebody is abusing their power, they're not making a parade of that. If somebody is manipulating people, they don't make a show of that. Even if somebody is abusing different things and overusing, they're not going to be want other people to see that. I mean, if you think about people who, if a situation where there's just eating to extreme and then vomiting, that's not something you're going to do out in public, is it? Or getting so drunk that you're passing out, that's not such a pretty sight either. You compare that with something that's more beautiful. Compare that with a lovely meal shared with friends that is nicely prepared and nicely served, and friends who have an enjoyable conversation. Well, those are the works of light. Because, and those, as this gospel finishes, says, their works will be seen in God. And we see that, yes, these works are seen in God. The good things that we do are seen in God because they lead us back to God. And we must remember that all that God created is good. The things he created are good, and when they're properly used, they are good, and they lead us back to God. And so, yes, they are in that sense in God. And these are the works of light. These are the works that we're not ashamed to show before others. the works or the things that we participate in that are good and are healthy and are and lead us back to the Father. So let us always be children of the light who cling to the light, and let us do the things that we're proud of, that we're proud to be able to be seen in the light doing, and not the things that in darkness that we hide and keep to ourselves. So there's a beauty in the transparency and the purity of light that can be seen. So let our good actions, our good works, let the good things that we do be seen in the light and through the light, because we know that they lead us back to God, the Father.